Hey guys, Zach Calhoun here again. Thanks so much for coming by. I'm the head editor of PitcherThrowCheese.com. If you don't know my story, I've dedicated Pitcher Throw Cheese to helping pitchers everywhere to accomplish the same goals I accomplish through strength and conditioning and nutrition and recovery and high volume throwing programs to be able to launch your velocity growth and to excel it at the maximum speed we can. Today we're going to talk about some tools and tricks that you can use every single day and how they can help you as a pitcher be more consistent, what kind of stuff you need to have around your house, how you need to treat your rotator cuff in your arm, and what are some of the good, simple things you can have and own that will make you a successful athlete moving forward. So let's move into those right away. Let's hop behind my computer so I can better explain some of these cool tools and tricks.
All right, guys, here we are back again behind my computer. This video is called the Tools and Tricks for Pitcher Velocity Strength Training. So let's get right into it. I'm excited today. Happy you're here. Okay, so what are some tools you need to increase your velocity? Or kind of better stated, what's something you should have in your bag, your pitching bag, all the time so you're never without when you're out and about training or whenever you're in your truck or in your car riding around, when you go through and you're at the field, what's some good tools to always have with you? And we're going to kind of talk about those things today, and also some tricks and little hacks that I think are important that will help you train better and throw faster. All right, here we go. Tool number one. This one should be obvious: a light resistance band, so 5 pounds or less. Here's an example photo. It actually says the amount of resistance on the band. That's super important because there's a lot of bands out there, and a bunch of them don't have the labels of how much they are. So you have this band in your bag, or you're using a friend's band, excuse me, and you don't even know like how heavy it is. Like, is it really, is it 10 pounds? Is it 20? Is it 30? And you're just using it, whatever, like really kind of nonchalantly. Don't do that. I'm requiring you guys to only have maximum 5-pound bands. There's a lot of bands out there and different kinds, and the reason why I only want you to have a 5-pound band is when you do rotator cuff work, especially like externally rotating, if the weight of the band is too heavy, you're going to use more parts of your body and shoulder and back rather than your rotator cuff. That's not good. So whenever we're doing like posterior cuff strengthening work, post-throwing or even pre-throwing, you got to make sure you're using and isolating that rotator cuff. So that's what I want for you. I want success for you. And obviously, if you're going to have a band, have some handles or something to grab onto it. I just grabbed a random photo online of some handles, really whatever you're comfortable with. Some guys actually like having Velcro wrist straps, and that's fine. And even in this photo, you're seeing me here doing an external rotation band move here with a super light band. I even have my hand underneath my arm for separation, so it's kind of a better movement when your arm is a little bit farther out. If you look at my thumb, it's pointed upwards, so that's okay. That's good. I actually have used that method a lot of times. What I would prefer, if you're an athlete, a pitcher obviously who's trying to get maximum range of motion out of his shoulder, even bending your thumb backwards, like pointing it backwards behind you whenever you fully externally rotate, is actually better. You'll notice that your shoulder changes whenever you turn your thumb outwards. So I'm a big fan of thumb being outwards all the time for all rotator cuff moves. So if you have a handle that can externally rotate farther out, that's good. You can find a way. Everyone can just wing it and figure it out. But whatever is easiest to keep your thumb up or out, do that. Yeah. So make sure you have at least one of these bands in your bag all the time, because you never actually know whenever you're going to get sore, tired, or weak, or whatever, and you kind of just need to pump out some band work. No big deal. So have it in your bag, in your toolkit. All right, number 2, 5-pound dumbbells. So I know carrying around 10 pounds isn't that exciting in your bag, but Actually, if you're a young youth guy, you can actually carry around 3 pound dumbbells or 2.5 pounds. Totally fine. Like most of those kind of dumbbells have like weird rubber around them and they look pink or purple because they're for, ladies, workouts or whatever. Who cares? Get over it. Put these in your bag, and here's why. You need to always be able to do rotator cuff work anywhere, especially if you're on the road or you're traveling for a weekend or whatever. You need to be able to bust out these dumbbells at any time. So here I am doing a 30-degree scaption move right here with my thumbs up, with the dumbbells in my fingertips, which is very important. So I'm right here. I'm isolating my rotator cuff, and I don't go above, shoulder height. All these things I'm using and I'm firing the muscles and nerves in my rotator cuff and maintaining that fluidity and that strength that I need to be able to handle high volume throwing programs. Having these 5 pound dumbbells in your bag all the time, you're never going to be without the ability to strengthen your rotator cuff. And that's so important. You want to make sure you're always taking care of your shoulder. It goes without saying. Also, if you think about throwing in general, it's usually a breaking down and shoulder beat up kind of move. But as a smart strength athlete who wants to throw harder, you're going to take care of your shoulder. You're going to take care of those small, tiny muscles. And all that takes is just some consistency. So have these in your bag. Cool. All right. Number 3. We're getting more or less practical here, but this is called a foam roll. You need to have one of these suckers. If I put 5 pounds or less, ignore that. Okay. A foam roll example would be this right here. It's a picture of this black cylinder foam hard roll. I used to use these all the time, especially when I was lifting heavy in the off season. I was really tight, or possibly if I didn't stretch enough. Sometimes you just get sore and you have little bumps or bruises or just whatever from training hard. It's a very common thing, and you got to roll them out. It feels so good, and it initiates so much blood flow in certain areas. I'm showing a black one here. There's different grades of hardness. I always preferred the really hard foam roll. I actually start off with a white one, and you can progress upwards from there. If you can put a smaller one, here's an example, in your bag, that'd be legit. That'd be so good for you. You can take it out at any moment. And this one's actually called a trigger point foam roll. It has a PVC pipe in the middle, and then it has the soft coating on the outside so it's not as hard on you. This is kind of a more expensive premium foam roll. This is what I use. I love this thing. I use it all the time. I throw it in my living room and just lay it on my back, on my lats, on wherever I'm sore. My IT bands, my quads, my glutes. I mean, just whatever I have to rub out. I rub it out every once in a while. Feels good. Boosts recovery. Always helps every single time. Some guys I've actually seen in their bags, because it's kind of a space-taking piece of equipment, those have just a PVC pipe. And that's okay. It's not going to be as practical, I think, whenever you're rolling around. You want something with a little bit larger OD, outside diameter. But it's okay if you just have PVC pipe. That's like the poor man's way of having a rollout, which is totally cool. Or you can just hire a masseuse or get a hot girlfriend. Some examples of some foam roll moves you can do are for your shoulder. So right here you see my little guy here. He's actually rolling out his lat. So your lats get tight when you throw a lot and whenever you lift, etc., right? Especially when you throw a lot, you do a lot of pull down motions, right? Well, you can actually roll out your lat with a foam roll, and man, it's like unlocking your shoulder. It's amazing. It feels so good. I highly recommend it. And also after that, you can put your wrist on the foam roll on your knees and just roll out, and you'll feel your lats extend and lengthen. And whenever you have loose lats, you have less shoulder issues. So it's really important to do that, to be able to lengthen your shoulder and to make sure that your lats are not tight and kind of holding you back. So yeah, get a foam roll, throw it in your bag. The big ones, obviously you can't carry everywhere, but a smaller one would be definitely worth it, and worth the money for sure. Tool number 4, whey protein. Okay, so there's tons of benefits to whey protein, and I always talk about it all the time, and I love whey protein. Really, this is something that you should just have with you all the time throughout your day. And it's not, you can't carry around a 4 pound or 5 pound jug of whey protein. I get that, but it's a good, for example, this is actually an Onnit product. You can pick whatever you like. I don't really care, but you need to have whey protein in your toolkit and in your diet. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, it's got non-essential amino acids. All essential, what that means is like their branched chain amino acids are what helps you build muscle. Okay, and I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but essential means like you have to get it from your diet. So whey protein has all the essential branch chains you need in order to build lots of muscle, and it's really fast. So what do I mean by fast? Well, like here's a quick graph of whey protein versus casein protein, like some of the anabolic activities you'll see in response to taking it. So down below is on the x-axis, I think, yeah, is minutes, and you see like within about an hour, whey protein creates this massively high concentration in your bloodstream of amino acid, which is so good. Now, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to find chicken or steak doing this exact same thing, but it's because whey protein can be consumed in a liquid form. It's a powder. It's just right in your bloodstream. You have all these amino acids and all this protein, all this muscle building stuff just ready to go and to be utilized, and it does get utilized. Man, that's why I always talk about it all the time. And you do see a quick drop off here. Actually took this graph from the Pho Cheese nutrient system, the rebuild stage. You'll see the casein protein like actually is interesting. It's a lot of times, if you're going to have that kind of protein, you would take it before you go to bed, because it's not as it's not as anabolic at first, but if you track it, it actually stays and hangs out longer. So in your system, which is really cool. So there's different types of protein, but like I'm a huge fan of having some whey protein on you. And like if you get hungry every 3 hours, bam, hammer some down, and you'll feel good, and you'll be able to progress and build some more muscle. Yeah, so whenever you can, have that sucker, have a whey protein on you. Cool. Okay, number 5, a stretching rope. This one is not as common, but I'm a huge fan of these ropes. They have handles on them. You can wrap them around your foot. Like a lot of guys who are super tight and just starting out stretching, like they can even, possibly if you have a little bit more of a gut, which I used to have a while ago, it's like pulling your body downwards towards your foot or your forehead towards your knee is just difficult. So you can use this to wrap it around your foot and kind of pull yourself downwards and slowly progress forward. And you can use this for almost any kind of stretch. Be really creative. I mean, you can get into a lunge and put it around your foot and over your shoulder, and then just pull that sucker and you till your hip extend and stretch out. I mean, it's kind of like a premium athlete's tool to have, because it's not practical for like just everyone to have it, but since you are going to be like trained super hard as a stud hard thrower, have this in your bag at all times whenever you're tight, to pull and lengthen your muscles is awesome. So definitely get one of these. A poor man's version is just a towel. You can totally get a towel and do like different stretches. I just picked a random image off the internet here. The problem with a towel is, man, it gets dirty, it gets smelly, it gets holes in it. It gets like becomes this nasty thing in the bottom of your bag. And I understand when you have cleats and stuff, it's like it can get kind of gross. So I'm not a big fan of of a short-term solution when you can just buy like a legit rope like this with handles, and it will stay in your bag forever, and you'll be able to use it and it'll last long. It has good firm knitting, etc. So you can use a towel as well. It definitely could work in case you want to. It's up to you. So the next slide here, let's check it out. Okay, now we're moving into tricks. Okay, so we had some tools there. You have all those tools in your bag, and I'll include some links after this. I'll forward you some links via email. But check this out. Trick number 1, I want you to kind of some tricks and stuff that I think is important. I think will help you as an athlete train as hard as possible. Lift with a spotter. Now this photo is stupid and funny because it's some guy spotting a girl, which guys can spot girl, that's totally fine. But like, man, I hope he's like, married to her, or like, it's his girlfriend or something. Because come on, bro, that is pretty. Ugh. Anyways, inappropriate. No. Okay. Anyways, no. My point is this. I gotta say, folks, I'm sorry. So, when you train with a spotter, especially squatting or heavy lifts, in the back of your mind, you can do those extra couple reps, or at least try them, because if you do fail, you have a spotter who's going to be able to catch you and push you past those failure points. Even if someone spots you super lightly and it helps you get just past that really weak point in your squat or in your certain moves, man, it helps you get jacked and so strong so much faster. Because really, like, if you do 8 reps on something, but you can't do 9 and 10 by yourself, and you get a spotter and you can do 9 and 10, like, you're going to act like those 2 reps, I call them the get better reps, man. Like, those are the ones that really see the fastest gains and the most, the most improvement from. And I just, over time, over and over and over again, the more I see guys with spotters and myself, like when I have a training buddy who's serious, who's not a punk, but a serious, gritty, hard worker, my gains just shoot up so fast. I get like really strong, really fast, and people are like, "What's up with you, bro? Why are you looking so jacked?" And I can't tell them. It's because I had this good spotter who's like always there for me. So finding a good spotter, someone who actually knows what they're doing and can maintain good form, don't get somebody who sucks, or teach them and learn these things. You should be a student of the weight room for sure. You should be a student in general of all things. But definitely always try to lift with a spotter if you can. And if you have to, man, if you're in the gym or something like that and some random guy says, "Hey, man, can you spot me? Is that cool?" Like, just do it. Just having somebody there, like, it's mentally so much better. It's such a mental game inside the weight room. So, yeah, I can discuss this all day, but I'm going to move on. Okay. Next one. So we talked about whey protein earlier. Have a shaker pre-filled before you lift. Okay. And you train. Like, you should kind of know in your head what your training schedule is. You need to have a shaker. Here's my hand right here, by the way. You need to have a shaker full of all of what you need in your supplementation. As an athlete, you should take supplements, whey protein, and this photo is dextrose corn sugar, and also some glutamine. You need to have this pre-filled every time you go lift, before you go. Because what happens is, this happens to everybody, you forget, or you just get tired, or you're like, "Oh, my stomach hurts, I don't really feel like going to get my protein or whatever. My stomach's like tight." Listen, bro, this is why you pre-fill it, put some water in it, hammer it down right after you lift. You'll see gains, bro. Gains. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm talking about strength gains. I want you to be strong. So yeah, you gotta have this. It's a quick trick. It's easy. It's quick and dirty. But man, it's so important to have. So buy you a shaker. Just do it. You can get it from Walmart, $3, $2. I don't know. Just have it with you. Always clean it. Make sure it's not gross. Okay. Third trick. So you need to static stretch your hip and shoulder separation. This is like really obvious to a bunch of people, but I'm just gonna make sure you know it, especially after you lift. And this is a quick shot of me. I actually shot a video of this. I'll share it with you later. But you need to be able to get your hip. So in this case, my left hip, my right shoulder, maximum range of motion, like in rotation wise. I did this move after I lifted, whenever I could, and all you do is just get on your side, pull your knee down with your left hand, have your other hand extend outwards, and you just breathe, and your body will just gravity will naturally pull it down. If you have a good friend, your spotter buddy, who can push you even farther, you should, as you get more advanced, have him push you for maximum range. It's so good for you, and it's just something you got to be consistent with. This will help with your velocity. This will also help with just your recovery. If you can't do this on your own, bro, you got to start doing it right now, like today. It's super important. And you'll notice, like, in the morning and stuff, when you're tight, you won't be able to do it as well. But after you lift and stuff, after you train, you'll be loose and ready to just straight shred this. So, I'm sorry, shred this. Well, you'll be loose and ready to really get maximum range out of this. So make sure you do this after you lift. Okay. Next trick, train functionally, as a pitcher should. Here's a goofy image of me in a lunge position. I'm actually throwing this ball, a reverse diagonal throw. The reason I'm in a lunge here is because, guess what? When you pitch, you're in a lunge, right? So it makes total sense that you should be doing moves every once in a while, especially core training, that is functional as in positions that you use and do all the time. So isolating your hips, using your hips, rotating, a small core muscles in your body are just weird, and you don't hit them on all the time. So you have to find a way to put some load on there and to make them explosive and fast twitch, right? So here's an example of me building up some decelerator muscles, my lower back, my upper back, my hips. I'm just chunking this ball backwards as fast as I can. Med balls are so important. You can get some light med balls and do some really weird functional moves and really get strong fast. You don't have to have super heavy med balls if you just change up the moves, and like, so if you go from 2 legs to 1 leg, etc. So train functionally, understand what functional training is as a pitcher, and accomplish it the best you possibly can. Okay, next trick, plan your training. Okay, this is so obvious to some because the ones who do it are like so much better and faster at progressing than everybody else. But to the ones who don't plan their training, and they're wondering why everyone's like just, you know, beating them up so much, and why everyone's getting so much stronger than they are and throwing faster, bro, you got to plan out everything you do. Here's an example of an Excel spreadsheet I put it together for my workouts. This is just core training right here, and I kind of showed some of them there. Monday and Tuesday, like, I know what's coming. I know what to expect. I know how hard to push it. I also can track it and check it off after I finish it. And this is so important because, man, we forget. We just neglect certain parts of our body and don't even think about it. Like, my brain doesn't want to work in the weight room, bro. I don't want to think about anything. All I want to do is train as hard as I possibly can, and then go crush some whey protein, right? Well, I get that. I understand. So if you're like me in that way, you need to have everything laid out, especially if you can plan out like, 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks in a row. If you do that, you can actually mark down where you started, where you finished, and that is so valuable to be able to know you're doing the right things, right? So here's a quick. You can actually copy this if you want to. This is just my core training right here. There's legs and posterior cuff and other stuff and stretching as well, and I record as well, which you should too. But this is just like a good inspirational slide to kind of help you, bro. Get your stuff together. Let's go. Put in the work. It's worth it, man, especially for your goals. I mean, it's worth tracking everything if you're going to be, pursuing your dream, right? Isn't it? If you really want it, really want it, bro. Or say you're a dad and you're watching this video. If you really want your son to like progress, like, are you doing whatever it takes? Like, are you? It's an important question. You should be. I'm here to help, but I mean, dang, let's go. Whatever it takes, bro. Otherwise, you're gonna look back and go, oh, I just didn't work out. Well, you didn't really train hard enough, or give it everything you had, so of course it didn't work out. Okay, so this is the last slide here. Thanks for watching this video. Thanks for tuning in and actually caring about yourself and caring about gain velocity and how to train. What's some tools and tricks that I think are really helpful. And it is a quick video. It's important that you check your email inbox, and if you want to share this video, you can. But if this is your first time watching a video from me or at all, you need to make sure you're on the email newsletter. There's an option to like input your email below. Because I'm sending out more free training videos and helpful tips and tricks, and especially this next one's like super important. So watch your inbox. I call it the 4 key systems you can start today to improve your velocity by strength training. Like, there's some really legit stuff coming. You have to be tuned in your inbox and know when it's coming and make sure you're watching it, because I understand like it's busy, so. Be checking your email, and if you haven't watched the previous videos or the previous free training stuff, then I'll include some links as well. So yeah, just watch your inbox. Stuff's coming. I can't wait to see you there. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be epic. Thanks for listening. Thanks for checking me out. If you have any questions, you can shoot me an email. And have a good day, guys. Keep working hard. Keep pursuing your dream. All right. Adios.